I love it every time. It's excellent, fantastic. Welcome to Knit One Pew Pew, where
Sorry.
I think you should say it. Go for it.
We were too happy. Oh, I thought we were carrying on. Yeah.
Welcome to Knit One Pew Pew. We are a cozy, nerdy knitting podcast where needles click and fandoms collide. I'm Belle, and I am continuing to work on this afghan.
I'm Mom, and I am knitting this scarf made with this lovely baby alpaca yarn that my son gave me for Christmas.
I'm Loyal, and I am knitting a different sock this time, from a hand dyed yarn, and it's the I just want to give her a shout out. It's the Knitting Expat. It's part of her New York sock collection. It's the Times Square socks.
Nice. And I'm using synthetic yarn from Walmart. All right, so
nothing wrong with that.
Listen, I have a lot of it. I bought all the skeins so I can make an afghan that fits my bed.
Garden say store bought is fine.
Yeah.
Wait,
got plenty of things.
Oh, because you hand spin your yarn.
I didn't hand spin this,
but she could if she wanted to.
I'll show spinning in an episode upcoming.
I think we should do little, Mom Carr does her hobbies for the community, and she's just going to watch all the things. I find you an alpaca,
Angora rabbit.
An Angora rabbit, and also an alpaca. Why not? Just to see one. So for decades, Saturday morning cartoons were an event, not just TV. From the 1960s, well through the 1990s, kids planned their weekends around waking up early, pouring cereal, and watching hours of animation in dedicated network blocks. They created a shared cultural rhythm, and everyone saw the same show at the same time. Cartoons have evolved since then, obviously, and now we can kind of watch them whenever, but that doesn't make us any less fans.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about Saturday morning cartoons.
Hey, Mom, you wanna kick us off?
I gotta finish this.
Do the count, then go.
Yeah. I'm definitely doing a more complicated sock today.
This is a pattern row. So
down.
I grew up in what was the heyday of Saturday morning cartoons. You did, literally. You'd get up in the morning, you'd pour your bowl of cereal or make your toast or whatever you're going to do, and then you lay on your stomach on the floor eating, watching the TV from about 7 in the morning until noon, 1 o'clock. Doesn't sound like a lot of activity. However, once you were done with that, then you'd go outside and pretend you were the people that you were just watching on the screen, running around the neighborhood until your parents called you home for dinner, or it just got too dark to play outside. So,
it got too dark to play outside.
It got too dark to play outside. Yes. Because we played everything. We were playing in our neighborhood. It was either you're playing baseball in the street, tag, hide and seek, or in our neighborhood we played the characters from the Mighty Mouse cartoons.
Nice.
So we had a typical Saturday morning lineup for us there'd be Scooby Doo. It went back that far. The Roadrunner and Coyote Hours, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry was controversial because they were so violent to each other. A lot of parents wouldn't let their kids watch that. There was the Beatles cartoon, which was interesting because they actually had the Beatles swinging across the screen, animated but naked.
What?
Naked. Yes.
Naked.
Yeah.
All right.
Wild times.
Porky Pig, Beanie and Cecil, which I loved. Bullwinkle, Tennessee Tuxedo, Mighty Mouse, Quick Draw McGraw, Magilla Gorilla, Casper, Top Cat, and the Bugs Bunny stuff, which I just love Looney Tunes. So
yeah.
Anyway, those were the things that you could watch depending on what channel you had. Most kids that I knew would just watch one channel and just, and you go to the bathroom during a commercial or, go get a drink during a commercial and then you come right back. And it was a ritual, and it was good for parents too because they knew where you were and they could get a lot of their weekend stuff done. Most of the neighborhoods they only had one car. So the parents would go out on the weekends and do stuff. I was the oldest of 5 kids, so I was always babysitting, but we were all in the same room watching the cartoons, so that was kind of easy.
Yeah.
Found them.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. None of us ever tried to jump off the roof with a cape or
Set fireworks off in the house.
drop anvils on our friends' heads, or
And neither
those
you nor your brothers felt like being Tom or Jerry and
No.
attempting to murder each other? Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Well, obviously we didn't trust our kids as much as we should.
Well, I just was reading. I read something a few months ago that somebody didn't want their kid to watch Peppa Pig because she jumped in puddles.
That's not why you don't want Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is spoiled.
Oh, well, I've never
Oh, is
watched.
she?
I've never
Yeah.
watched Peppa Pig.
I've never seen
but,
Peppa Pig.
But it was a.
Yeah.
Wait a minute! Isn't jumping in puddles a rite of passage for children?
Yes. I feel like
it
that's...
is the natural inclination.
It's a puddle.
Yeah.
Natural inclination.
Gosh, if I was worried about people changing clothes and stuff, I would have been driven crazy by this one. When she was a little girl, she would wear 5-6 different outfits in a day.
Wow.
So-
I was very strange in that I was definitely a tomboy, but I really liked dresses.
Yep. Yep.
Still fits.
Yeah,
Still
yeah,
fits.
no, I understand. I remember Eddie Izzard and Dress to Kill mentioning, that transvestite, which was a word that she used at the time, running, jumping, climbing trees, putting on makeup in the tree.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I felt about my childhood.
That's a very apt description of you, though. Like
Yeah,
climbing
yeah.
ladders in heels, putting on makeup in a tree.
Yeah, I've carried a whole hog moving light board up a spiral staircase backwards in heels before, so because why not?
So what was your experience with Saturday morning cartoons, Liz?
They were just ubiquitous. They were just the part of existence, really. It's not something you thought about. You just knew that that's what you were doing, and they were great. The Saturday morning cartoons, as well as the cartoons that came on in the early afternoon for kids, were just amazing. And then on top of that, because I grew up in the household that I grew up in, I had a full range of Warner Brothers Looney Tune cartoons. I grew up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, despite it being not particularly of our age. But they bought them on VHS. But they also bought we had a VHS of pre-code, pre-Hays Code Betty Boop cartoons. And that's actually where I discovered my love of big band music, because they had a couple that were Cab Calloway, and I was just like, this is great.
Nice.
And so they're just, cartoons are amazing. Cartoons, I think, they open up your mind to the idea that what we see around us is not the only thing available.
Very true.
And so I think that it's part of keeping kids imagining and stuff like that whole idea. What was it? The artists. That was that quote. Artists are children who survived.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this idea, and I think that cartoons and puppetry and things are all things that really open you up to that. In a really excellent way. I know I put my knitting down, but I feel very passionate about cartoons. And then of course we had the Disney Afternoon, which I know that
Which I also enjoyed very much.
was so good, because and the stuff holds up. I mean, you could go back and watch Darkwing Duck, and you can go back and watch DuckTales, and they're still amazing. They're still fantastic.
Unlike She-Ra, they have excellent writing.
They have excellent writing.
Yeah.
And actually, you go back also, going back to Rocky and Bullwinkle slightly, if you go back to Gummy Bears, the writer from Rocky and Bullwinkle, Bill Scott, who's also the voice of Bullwinkle, is a voice on Gummy Bears.
Really?
Yeah.
didn't
So I
know
mean,
that.
there's a lot to love going on there, and then you get a lot of really excellent voiceover artists in that time period, like June Foray and stuff. But they're just really good. June Foray was also in Rocky and Bullwinkle, to be fair.
So you had an older brother. Did you guys ever fight about which cartoons you were going to watch?
No,
Oh, okay, cool.
never.
That's fantastic.
David and I wanted to watch the same cartoons. I don't know that David wanted to watch She-Ra. I don't really remember. I was very young.
Fair.
But I don't remember us ever arguing about it. We just got on watching the, Transformers and the Real Ghostbusters and, whatever was on at the time.
So I didn't have the same experience. My parents very much thought TV would rot my brain. So I didn't get to watch Saturday morning cartoons until I was almost in high school. So junior high and high school. And then I really fell in love with the afternoon block. Because by that point on Saturday, I was old enough that we were doing things with our friends and hanging out on weekends and going to the beach and stuff. I used to love Animaniacs, Tiny Toons. Those,
So good.
watching Animaniacs as a high schooler, you're like, why are we letting kids watch this?
Yeah.
But they don't get any of that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like any of it. The whole, oh, nurse thing is just funny to kids. And I'm like, that's also funny to
No,
me
yeah.
with my sophisticated humor. But it was different coming to cartoons as a teenager because there's a piece of it, right? So there's going back and watching, I'm trying to think of what they are. Like Robotech. There's only, or He-Man even, there's only maybe 5 minutes of unique animation per episode. It's a lot of, the transformation scene does take quite a while.
True.
And it is always the same. Oddly enough, he magically always goes back to the castle tower and transforms and then is back where he belongs.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a weird piece for me, not having that experience of sort of reused animation. And then it also made me, it showed me something in an era when I was being extremely creative. Like, there's a whole type of art you didn't know about. Right? So when you're looking at, because I would watch not just Tiny Toons, like I would go back and watch Looney Tunes. And when
Yeah.
you look at that, and
So good.
yeah, like you look at Bugs Bunny and you're like, well, this is a fabulous character, right?
Yeah.
A hero, an anti-hero, a comedian, he's all the pieces that is needed.
Yeah.
But when I would look at it, my mother and grandmother would tell me about how, like, when they were kids, because we never watched cartoons, they would have to entertain themselves. So my grandmother would put on shows. Like, they'd just put on shows for their friends, right? And
Yeah.
that looked like what Bugs Bunny was doing, right? Bugs Bunny is putting on a show for his friends. He's dressing up, and
Yeah.
I'm not thinking this is some weird rabbit. Of course, he's just playing a part. And having animated characters be actors on their own was just a fascinating concept to me.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was very deep in high school. I was there. But as an adult, it is fabulous to look back and see how we moved from cinema entertainment to bringing it into the home, but having to respect what was being done in the home for entertainment. So you have to teach what people are used to there. And then I think you can always talk about how cartoons are a cultural experience too. But so what would happen is I would go over to Loyal's house because they had all the cartoons. They did. They had Rocky
All
and
of
Bullwinkle, Robotech.
We had laser, like full laser
Transformers.
disc sets
Yes.
of Looney Tunes cartoons.
Yeah, you could.
Multiple discs, multiple sets.
They do have like a sequential order, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like you can watch them in any order, but and I would just sit there and be like, oh, we're watching this now. Oh, I'm learning about this. And then, every once in a while, Dad would be tired and he'd throw on like a classic movie and I'd be like, oh, this is also fascinating.
Marx Brothers usually.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
Marx Brothers. What is The Women? Is it
The women.
Oh, the
I showed-
women.
I showed you that.
Yes, I loved that movie.
Over a lunch period. We went back to the house for lunch from
She
school.
lived very close to school and we were allowed to go off campus.
Yeah, and yeah, it was great.
It was
1939, The Women.
Yes,
very,
yes.
very. If you haven't watched it, I will find a YouTube link and put it down in the comments because it's got to be
pencil.
free somewhere.
I imagine so.
I would say by far Beast Wars was one of my favorite
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars
cartoons.
was wonderful.
Beast Wars was
I had a
Yeah.
patient turn me on to Beast Wars, and I in turn turned my children on to Beast Wars.
Yeah.
It was again. You look back at the animation. It was these. It was rough.
And it was early.
It was early 3D animation.
3D computer animation. Yeah.
Way before Pixar.
I don't know if anyone out there remembers Clutch Cargo. Clutch Cargo was animation where it was drawn pictures and the eyes would move and they actually animated a human mouth where the mouth was.
Clutch Cargo and his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot in another exciting adventure, The Friendly Headhunter.
What happened? Somebody murdered? Got the whole police force here.
They actually did a joke on that on Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, where Pinky rips out the mouth of a picture and puts his own through. Look, I'm Clutch Cargo.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I rewatched. There's somebody has uploaded all of the Clutch Cargos on YouTube.
Really?
as a block, so you can click on it and it'll just play them through. And I had, it was every bit as bad as I remember.
Was it worse than It's About Time? Because I felt dumber after watching that.
Well, no, the stories were okay. I'm talking about the
Okay, so it was just the animation.
just the animation quality.
Because It's About Time was a live action show, but it made me feel legitimately less intelligent from watching.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's About Time. It was pretty bad. I
It
feel
was
so
so
bad for the
bad.
actors because I like an actress.
There
who's
were
on
some,
the
yeah,
show.
there was
So a really good Imogene Coca, brilliant actress.
yeah.
This
The scripts were just so awful.
I felt, well, how did you ever attach yourself to this? Because it was really bad. It's about astronauts who, through no fault of their own, end up in the prehistoric past, and they have to live with these cave people. And it's really bad.
Oh, okay, so it's living up to the description.
Yeah, it's about
So
time.
bad.
Yeah. People
And
say
I
that my
love
mother-
time travel
Some
things.
people say My Mother the Car was the worst one. I would beg to differ. It's About Time was as bad as it gets.
My Mother the Car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we got a guy whose wife dies. His mother dies, and her spirit embodies this old jalopy car.
Fixer-upper. Oh, yeah.
Hello, Davy.
Oh, Mother.
We were really desperate for entertainment. We had money and we needed to put it towards something or they wouldn't give it to us again, apparently.
I think it was Jerry Van Dyke, Dick Van Dyke's brother, who was the star of that. I think it was his mother that was the car. I think that's who that was. I haven't seen it in so long. It was on
Because what is the point?
when I was a very young child.
What was your favorite cartoon? All time.
gosh.
This is the one that you're like, I could watch it 100 times every day for the rest of my life.
I'm trying to think because I like so many things when I'm just watching them. A lot of times, with music too, this is my favorite until I listen to something else. Oh, that's my favorite
Fair.
too.
Do you have a current favorite?
Cartoon wise, X-Men '97. X-Men '97 was amazing, and they're going to come out with a second season this year. So I'm very happy.
Maybe because the people around me loved it so much, but I loved Animaniacs. I
Oh
loved
yeah,
it.
So good.
Animaniacs was
I loved it. It was fun, and you're like, everyone gets this. I can watch them as adults and still be fine. But my favorite cartoon of all time, Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, hey! There I was, holed up in this quarry. When Batman came nosing around, he was getting closer. And I threw a rock at him.
Oh
It
yes,
was very good.
very
It was
good.
very good.
Probably my first introduction, well, I mean, I'd watched the Batman movies, but my first introduction to animated superheroes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, plus the fact that they animated it on black cells.
Yeah,
It
which
made
they
it
developed
so-
for that show.
It made it so atmospheric. It was so good, and all the other stuff popped, like the flames from the Batmobile and explosions.
Yeah, and it gives it that noir kind of feel.
And
And that's when you got to find out that Mark Hamill could do a really good Joker.
Yeah. So good.
Yep.
and I'm gonna blank on the actor's name who did Mr. Freeze, but it's here, just dead. Like you're like you feel cold
Yep.
listening to him.
Yeah.
I also felt similar to Gargoyles.
Loved
Gargoyles
Gargoyles.
are very good.
Yes.
A lot of
Plus the fact that they used a lot
I was
of
gonna say a lot of next generation
actors.
Yeah,
were-
that
were-
helps.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I recognize
But
some
the
of these
stories were good
voices.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a crush
Indeed.
on Goliath.
What was your favorite, Liz? They were awesome. Demona was fantastic. Go ahead.
Hands down, Rocky Bullwinkle.
Hurry, Bullwinkle! The show's about to start!
I'm coming as fast as I can.
Okay.
And the writing, the voiceover acting, it's just so great. And how terrible the animation is,
Makes it
really
better.
no, but it really
Yeah.
it adds another layer. Like there's an extra, sprinkling of camp on top of it just because of how terrible the animation was. I mean, sometimes the phone there's one thing where the phone handle changed colors between frames, which is such a bizarre accident to have happened. But but it just those are the jokes that I think about the most. Those are, I definitely can see the show's influence on my humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like that you can, it's very, very clear. And I love it. It's also comforting for me because I've known it all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it. I quote it quite a bit as well, which is fine because nobody has any time to say. They don't know what it's about. But yeah, so I love it. Bill Scott really knew what he was doing for the writing, and the team was great. And that team went on to also do a show called Fractured Flickers, which is they took silent films and cut them up and put their own words over them.
Oh, okay.
Some notable things I'm gonna get before Mom explodes. I'll tell you one is it was the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? Silent film, famous silent film, Hunchback of Notre Dame became Dinky Dunstan Boy Cheerleader.
Yes.
There will be links for all of these in the description.
And the other one that sticks out in my head is there was another one. It was to Blood and Sand, the famous Rudolph Valentino Blood and Sand became Death of a Traveling Salesman.
Wow.
And so there's just a lot of fun to be had. It was a very creative team, and the voiceover acting was top notch. I mean, we're talking June Foray, we're talking Dawes Butler, who, if you don't know, did a lot of the voices from your childhood, probably, depending on how old you are. And Hans Conried is Snidely Whiplash. I mean, there's just so much. There's so much there. And Paul Frees does a bunch of voices, including Boris Badenoch. And if you've been to Disneyland or a Disney park, and he's the voice on the train, Thurl Ravenscroft.
Thurl Ravenscroft.
Yeah. But also he the Haunted Mansion voice, the properly worn GB says I on the Pirates of the Caribbean. There's just amazing voiceover talent there, and amazing writing, and it just all came together into a beautiful package.
I think some of the voice actors impact our life more than we really know.
Yeah.
So I have 2 children who are in their 20s, but we're small ones. And since I loved cartoons, and I found out about them later, I'm like, they will watch cartoons. My son loved My Little Ponies when he was a kid. He was a brony. He was a brony. He was. And he's still a little bit of a brony every now and then. But one of the actors I found everywhere was Tara Strong. So she did Twilight Sparkle. She's Raven on Teen Titans. She's Raven on the Teen Titans. And she's done Harley Quinn, not in the animated series, but for the video game.
Yeah.
Love her stuff. I mean, her collection of work is sort of this wide, vast. I think she was a Rugrat, too. I forgot nice. Rugrats existed until this moment.
Oh, I didn't have cable, so I'm very familiar with what it is, but I didn't grow up watching it.
Do you think that the loss of Saturday morning cartoons is a detriment to kids?
There's so much more that's a detriment to kids.
Fair. Do you think that... Okay, let me try and rephrase this. So, there was sort of this cultural thing that we all did, right? We all sat down at this time and we did this thing. And I feel like it kind of fed into binge culture the same sort of way. Like, we're all watching Bridgerton because I'm a huge fan. I know you guys aren't. But,
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it.
I don't even know what it's about.
I do
It's a Regency
vaguely.
romance novel. It is a Regency romance novel that...
And it's the romance novel part is the reason I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's not really your guys' vibe, to be honest. But it is that kind of thing. Like
I've never seen any of the Game of Thrones things.
Or, honestly, that's a good call. They're not bad. They're just a lot. But, Wonder Man, right? We all went and we watched it. And we all have this kind of shared experience. But instead of having it every Saturday, we sort of have it in this block of time following its release. Do you think that Saturday morning cartoon culture... losing that and then going outside and playing like you were talking about, because there was nothing good after Saturday morning cartoons. It was
it was like
horrible.
golf or something.
Yeah, it was so bad on sports.
Golf, sports,
yeah,
drag racing. When I was a kid, it was demolition derby.
Oh, that actually sounds like fun.
Where people, the last car standing, and basically drive.
Okay,
and
you
it
had
sounds
a
more
lot.
entertaining than watching golf.
And then bowling.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Roller derby.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Well, I know
yes,
you used
I
to
know.
do it. So, but those there were famous the celebrity roller derby when I in the '60s. So
Even better. I'm starting to think you had better television. Oh wait, did I drop? I didn't. Okay.
I don't know. We definitely had Animaniacs and
We had some great
um,
stuff though.
yeah,
I mean, come on, Darkwing Duck.
yeah.
I mean,
I do.
Let's get dangerous.
And he was so incompetent. Beautifully incompetent.
Oh no, I know, but that's kind of part of why you rooted. for him?
100%.
Well, we had live action shows like that one in the '60s. It was
We had Batman,
well, yeah, but that was
which was
camp.
as camp
that was
as camp can
yeah.
be.
No, I was thinking of
loved
like
it. I used
Mr.
to watch
Terrific, Mr. Terrific, and Captain Nice.
Oh,
These were both live action superheroes.
Is Mr. Terrific the same as Mr. Terrific from?
No, not at all.
No, totally different.
No.
Okay. Superman. There it is. I found it.
Yeah. No, Mr. Terrific, the Superman, Mr. Terrific, quite a different thing.
I will say I wonder about the accessibility of cartoons, right?
Yeah.
So my granddaughter, she watches Bluey. And Bluey is actually very wonderful, very sweet, it's actually a really good cartoon. Of all the kid cartoons, I'm like, this one I can watch with you,
Yeah.
you know? It has a little bit of in stuff, like the mom and dad act like parents, right? So they're like, oh no, dad's frozen, I guess I'm going to work kind of stuff where you're like, oh, we're all in on it. Maybe the kids aren't. I enjoy that one. But it is like on the Disney Channel, like on Disney Plus.
yeah.
With the loss of it, I wonder if there is not as much accessibility, but then YouTube, I think, has replaced that Saturday morning piece. Because you can find...
Yeah, but you're still not getting the group. Not everybody's watching stuff at the
Yes.
same time.
Very true.
It's true.
I have a friend who won't watch things until it's all released.
I get
I
it.
enjoy the week to week. I especially enjoy the week to week when I can then watch the YouTubers that I follow doing their reactions and their breakdowns and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It's almost like having a community to talk about things because you don't have it anymore. I can't talk to my friend Terry and say, oh, except for Wonder Man because it all came out in one day.
Yeah.
But even then, I wish they had broken that up a little bit just because the show is so good. I just don't want people to miss it.
It does need to sit with you. Like the first and second watchings on things, sometimes the second time I'll be like, oh, I missed all that. Yeah. And I think there's almost too much content out there. I mean, I want it all. I love it. It's fantastic. But maybe we were better off when like your choices were Animaniacs, because everyone knows the countries of the world because of Animaniacs. Everyone knows our states, all that stuff, like
Where in the world
is Carmen Sandiego. I forgot about PBS for a minute there with their cartoons.
Well, that's
too.
what I said with you. We were talking about educational versus non-educational
Yeah.
television. And we had, of course, Sesame Street, which started in the later '60s, and then I loved Beakman's World
Oh, Beakman's World.
with the rat and the.
That was Saturday morning, wasn't it?
I
feel like
don't
it was.
remember. And of course, the Muppet Show, which is actually Disney's redropping today. I mean, on the day we're filming. So I'm looking forward to watching that tonight after when it finally drops.
Because it is a nighttime show.
I'll definitely be at rehearsal.
But you had shows like that were educational, but then you had things like Mr. Rogers, who was educational, but it was more relational stuff. He wasn't actively teaching you science things, but he was teaching you how to be kind to one another and how to conflict resolve and stuff, and taking things that were out in the world. Like there was a time when racism was worse than it is now, I think. Yeah, I know. It's hard to tell. It's
Different,
hard to
for sure.
but you couldn't have different races swimming in the same pool. And Mr. Rogers had his African American postman come in, and they shared a foot bath together. And and those kind of things that were gentle educational things that say, we're all the same.
Yes.
We don't have the same backgrounds and same upbringings and things, but we're all human beings, and we all have an obligation, God ordained obligation, to be kind to one another. So those are the he's not specifically educational, but
Well, I think there
was.
There were some things in there.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Rogers filled a role for a lot of kids, and this is one of the things I was going to talk about, is kind of the emotional fulfillment. So if you don't have a parent who's very emotive, or you don't have a parent who knows how to accurately express themselves, cartoons, children's programming, it would show you how to express those emotions. So while yes, Tom and Jerry constantly attempted to kill each other, no one actually died, and I'm so mad at my brother, and Tom gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you had this opportunity to see emotions on display, and then with Mr. Rogers, how do I react to those emotions? How do I treat the world around me? What does a good person look like?
Well, and you got to see in some of those, like Tom and Jerry, you got to see the bad consequences of the actions of the anger and stuff. And I want to qualify. I know for a fact that there's racism out there. I'm just saying that it used to be worse. At least
It used to be more blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to. You didn't have to hide it quite so much.
And I hate any kind of racism.
Yes.
I think there is, like we talked about Mr. Rogers' emotional stuff, I think there's also that piece that cartoons, for me as a parent, survived having 2 small children, of please just watch this so I can have a breather.
Yeah.
I know that this episode is going to last X amount of minutes, and I can be okay, and I can have a cup of coffee and not scream. Or maybe scream quietly into a pillow.
Yeah.
I think that there is...
I just need to breathe.
I just need 5 seconds of you guys not hanging on me. My children were very, I don't want to say clingy, because that sounds wrong. They were Velcro. They were Velcro. They wanted to be right here. Mom. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
What are they used
To be honest, I mean, you're a very physical person.
I am a very physical person.
They kind of got it from you.
Yeah, no, I mean, they came by it naturally, but...
I have very specific ideas about interacting with our kids. We never had a kids' table to eat at when our kids were growing up. The one time we went to somebody else's house for Thanksgiving, they had a kids' table in a separate room. I ate with the kids.
So bizarre.
I ate with
Sounds
the
like
kids.
more fun.
Well, no, it's just that I felt sad. Why should they be over there?
Yeah.
The kids will tell you every Christmas, I hate this commercial with a passion. And I hate the part of the song that they're doing. It's about, and mom and dad
Can hardly wait.
Can hardly wait for school to start again. It makes me crazy. Or when the Staples had a commercial at the end of summer, the beginning of school, and the kids, the most wonderful time of the year, and the kids are sitting there with their sad faces, and the dad's up and down the aisle,
Dancing
so
down
happy
the aisle.
and stuff. Makes me crazy. Why? What is it? Gomez Adams said in the Adams Family when his kids were, the truant officer came and said, "Why aren't your kids in school?" And he says, "Why do you have kids to get rid of them?"
Oh.
So, yeah. So
more wisdom from the Addams Family.
I know. Well, and that's how I feel about it. Kids are our futures. They're our assets. They're our joy. They're our privilege. And why do you want to get rid of them? I love them. All of them, even the ones I acquire along the way.
She keeps collecting them.
Yep.
I do
Mom's
too.
like that. She wanted to have more kids, so she just kept getting them.
I feel 2 was good. For me, I was the same way. My kids always ate at the family table. Because, one, how do you expect them to become adults if they don't see adults being kind, generous, and loving? And secondly, they're going to get into trouble if they're on their own. Even now, I'm like, where are you going? Mom, we're just going for a walk. Where? I love them, but I know they're going to get in trouble because my children are still mischievous and smart. And I think a part of that is because they had an opportunity to sit down with me and watch things way, way back in the day. Now, it's not a cartoon, but it is children's programming. I let my kids watch The Wiggles. The Wiggles used to be very calm and relaxing almost. We used to make our friends watch it and be like, guys, we had our children very young, and all of our friends were like, we're in our 20s and would like to enjoy this. But I'd be like, guys, you gotta watch this. It's a trip. And it was a trip. But I love the Wiggles. We still do fruit salad. There's still pieces of children's programming that stay with us forever.
Yeah.
I love the idea of walking in a house and sitting down and taking off your shoes and putting on your indoor clothing like Mr. Rogers. I want to play pretend with the characters and the Muppets. I want to enjoy the exploration of being My Little Pony, even the Care Bears. Weird concept, but
It's a very weird thing. But
very weird concept. But I liked it. Like these are
Yeah.
feelings are okay. I think the educational aspect of children's programming, while still present, has been less of a focus. And I think that's concerning.
Which is funny
we should
considering
worry.
how many more people like study childhood development and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And we know how important imaginative play is and how important seeing things like this
Yeah.
happen in communities that aren't your own is important.
The problem is it's not something you can test. It's not something you can quantify. You can't
Yeah.
just say, it's like art education.
Mm-hmm.
It has been proven time and time again that it makes better people. It makes better problem solvers. It makes people who are less stressed. Like it is really good for people. But because you can't have them fill out a test and figure out how well it's done for them, they just don't value it.
Qualitative education versus quantitative, and
Yeah.
it's really, in my opinion, the more valuable thing.
Yep.
I miss the layered cartoon experience. With so many of the Looney Tunes cartoons and the Animaniacs pulled this off for my kids. That there was a level of understanding for the child, and then there was a level of understanding for the adults. That was true for Rocky and Bullwinkle as well.
Yeah.
The double entendre, not in a
Dirty way,
sense,
necessarily.
but puns and new and references to current
Yeah.
events and stuff that the kids wouldn't pick up on. But I miss I miss thoughtfulness in programming. I think that's one of the reasons that Wonder Man hit me so hard, because and Andor as well, and for this in the Star Wars world, is that they were thoughtful, they were character developed and driven, and with political intrigue, and made you think and made you react, and you had to watch it. You couldn't just do what with a second screening thing where you're doing something else on your phone while you're watching something.
Yeah.
That it involved all of your brain, and that's what I miss. I miss content
That has layers.
that has layers. Yeah.
What is that thing? It's layer. Oh, Shrek. I'm like an
Oh,
onion.
yeah.
I have
like an
layers.
onion, I have layers. Yes.
I guess I miss a certain amount of willingness to be ridiculous. We get a lot of simple things. But this things like the Garfield and Friends or the Real Ghostbusters and stuff were just very silly in a fun way, and I think that is valuable.
Can I tell you guys how disappointed I was that when we finally got a cat, it never wanted to eat lasagna? I was like, isn't this what cats do? And Mom goes, no, honey, that's just a cartoon. And I'm like, well, I think it should. I was like, don't you want this? And it's like, no.
And I would say,
Please give me
and
something
I would
good.
say that Garfield and Friends is one of those things. It's like it's surprising how it is pretty good.
Yes, it is.
It's got some really good comedy in it.
Yes, it
And
does.
it's such a bizarre thing because it's a stupid cartoon made about a comic strip cat.
Yeah.
But there's some lovely things in there.
Including Lorenzo Music's voice for
Yes.
Garfield.
He was also in Real Ghostbusters.
But he started out in the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Yep.
He was the voice of the doorman.
I love voice actors. I think
Yep.
it is so cool and so amazing.
I think he was one of the producers, and they kept looking for a voice to match that he wanted,
Yeah.
and he couldn't find. They said, "Well, why don't you do it?" And it was a hit.
Well, and that's what That's how Bill Scott ended up being the voice of Bullwinkle, because he wanted a specific sound and nobody was giving it to him, and they said, well, I want it to sound like this. And I was like, well, then go ahead. The same thing with what's her name in Slappy Squirrel?
Oh yeah.
She was the writer.
Oh
And Edna Mode in Incredibles.
yeah. I never would have guessed that was him.
Well, because I can't remember his name. Starts with a B.
Is it Bill Bird? Is it somebody Bird?
It's a bird. Brad Bird.
Brad Bird.
There it is. Yeah, he kept telling these very famous actors, just like this. And one of them just went, well, why don't you do it? And he was like, oh, why don't I?
Yeah. He's great. I
He's
love
so
Edna
good.
Mode.
Edna Mode
I
is
love Edna
fantastic.
Mode. I love the Incredibles anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna be okay.
High quality.
Another one of those things where you're like, I haven't blocked it out yet. How do you guys feel about the transition from sort of flat animation? It's kind of related to 3D animation. I love them, but I miss flat animation.
I miss flat animation.
I miss flat animation.
I think you use less of your imagination.
Well, it's just like you can have so much of the. Oh, now the word I just had the word and it went out. The volume. It's really good for some things, and then you lose some for other kinds of filming. I much prefer practical things. It's like in Loki that where it looks like it might. Our friend Sean thought it was all CGI, and no, that was all practical sets, and they painted it with light reactive paints and stuff in the episode where he and Sylvie are trying to get on that rocket ship, and those were long takes and stuff. I mean, I think CGI is great when it's done appropriately, but I really prefer the practical stuff.
Yeah, when you think about the paintings on glass and stuff as like the backgrounds in Star Wars, or if you think about the incredible models that Weta made for the Lord of the Rings films, there is just a warmth and a depth that you get. I mean, maybe eventually we can recreate that, but there's a certain amount of our humanness, which is always going to have a slight reaction. Like when people talk about the uncanny valley, there's a slight reaction to like, this isn't quite right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and yes, I know we can't make a practical 20-foot snake. So I mean, we're still gonna use it and stuff. But if you use it in conjunction with things, then you're gonna get a lot better. And of course, it also has a serious effect on the actor. I mean, there's famously Ian McKellen broke down on set during The Hobbit because they had him in filming the table scene
By himself.
And that is not optimal for human beings seeking connection between them and other human beings.
Yeah. The idea of doing an entire role in a mocap suit does not feel appealing.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoe saw
Andy Serkis sure
He
made
sure
it
knows
look
how
good.
to do it.
He sure made it look good.
he was probably the definitive, like, that was well done.
Of course, then he was in a couple episodes. He was in an Andor.
He's a fabulous actor too.
he really
He is
incredible.
fabulous. He is.
And very physical with it, which I think helps with the motion capture stuff.
Yeah. I think I would love to have Saturday morning cartoons back. I think I would like sort of that realness we were talking about. The like let your brain fill it in thing. Do not get me wrong, I love Pixar animation. I think it's beautiful.
Oh yes. And the huge difference there is they usually really concentrate on the storytelling as well.
Yes, they have
it's
amazing
it's not
stories.
just them making,
Yeah.
and they do make beautiful strides. And I mean, they've pushed animation, computer animation, much farther than it was already going.
Once they did Mirda's hair, I was like, you can quit now. All
Yeah.
those curls, each individually programmed to not, was amazed.
Apparently, Violet's hair in
Really?
apparently
Incredibles?
was just
Dead straight.
Herculean.
Wow.
Yeah.
I also don't think we need to take
It doesn't
flat
need to
animation and make it live action.
It doesn't need to be every.
Stop
that's
messing up my Disney movies.
That's the problem. Well, yeah, I also don't like the live action things, generally speaking. I think part of it now is just the saturation. It's like there isn't any. There are no movies being made with flat animation.
Yeah.
And I think that there's definitely room for that in life.
Absolutely.
And just because we invented something doesn't mean it's the only thing that needs to exist.
It does feel weird that we said, "Oh, this is replacing this." They're both art forms.
Yeah.
Just because we don't do full body portraitures that are the size of a building doesn't mean that we stopped painting things.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that loss of animation is unfortunate. Shows like Bluey still have it. That's kind of why I like it, because it does allow a lot of room for kids to fill it in. They're also dogs, so like there's other pieces here. Do I like things like He-Man? I come back to this because the transformation sequence. I don't miss that part. I don't miss us doing Voltron's transformation over and over again. I do miss. I liked when the Transformers transformed in animation.
It was very cool.
It was.
And it was something that they didn't manage to capture in the films because they made them so complicated. And so bitty, you know what I mean? Like so many little bits. I think that there was a really satisfying things went into places, and they like that's why they were able to make toys out of them, a lot of them, because it was possible to do lots of things that they were doing. And it was great.
If you look on YouTube, you've seen a lot of kids who have made their Halloween costumes out.
Yeah.
I love
And they
it when
fold
kids do
right
that.
And
up.
they fold right up, and it's
Yeah.
great. There's something just so satisfying to that.
Well, that was
Seeing them.
that was the educational piece of Transformer was spatial awareness, right? Like all these pieces are going to fit back together, and we're going to show you how.
Yeah.
So you can't do, and also then it wouldn't be like a 3-story thing became a GTO. Like that's not.
Yeah.
The math doesn't math, my friend.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's-
it was the hardest bit was those things that turned into tapes and then fit in his chest. Like that was the only thing I was like, they fit in his chest, do they? I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna buy that one, but
I'm gonna suspend my disbelief. All right.
I will say they did a Transformer movie like that wasn't live action, that was animated recently. Transformers 1, I think. Very well done.
Okay, I've not seen
Definitely recommend you see it.
Oh, I saw Transformers 1. I like
Yeah,
that.
it was
I
very
like
good.
that very
Yeah,
much.
the transformation.
Also love
scenes-
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Oh, Bumblebee was fabulous.
Of course, it was live
fantastic.
action, but yeah.
But it was done right. It was more story. So.
Yeah.
But I love Transformers 1. I really enjoyed that. So, see, that was one of the nice things about having kids is that you could still do things the kids like to do.
Yeah.
And it's acceptable because you've got kids. So now that my kids are grown, I don't care. I just would still
Yeah.
enjoy,
I was gonna say, Mom, I don't think that's
still
stopping you
enjoy
one way or
doing
another.
things, but I could just say I'm in my second childhood. Well, I never left my first. It's probably more to the point.
I mean, I kind of kept watching the cartoons I like. Like I've
Yeah.
watched Batman cartoons. I did Batman and the Blue Beetle. I've done the animated series that are on the WB. That's not what they call it anymore. What is
it the
HBO's?
CW
Warner
now?
Brothers. No, Warner Brothers
Oh,
has
Warner
all the, like they have the Teen Titans and all that stuff.
So now they're going to
Right.
be Netflix. And then we won't be going to theaters anymore because everything will go direct to streaming.
Really?
Well, that's the fear.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I don't think Netflix is interested in showing things in theaters. Now, some of the movies they're coming out with now, they're guaranteeing a month in the theaters. Or
As part of the buyout,
as part
right?
of the buyout.
Yeah.
But that all goes away in 29, I think, or 31 or 32.
Okay, but
so.
like Superman doesn't play on my phone. It's good. I watch it on my phone, but it didn't. Like you needed that theater experience.
Well, and that's a shared experience with
Yeah.
a bunch of other people.
We already
Yeah.
experience so much of the world through our phones. We need
Yeah.
to be in the same room.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm saying that as a theater practitioner, but I think it's absolutely true. Like that the feel, like it, and you can see it in rehearsal versus performances. How the energy together of an audience affects the performance, but also the energy of each other affects each other.
It's when at the end of you're near the end of Endgame and all of a sudden all the portals are opening and all the heroes are coming back and the whole theater is going nuts and you're sharing that experience with all these people.
It was such a cultural shared experience
Yeah.
that a year later in lockdown, we all knew where we were at this time last year. Let's watch it again. It
Yeah.
was one of those things. I don't know if every movie should go into theaters.
Well, no, I mean
Yeah.
there's I don't know, I keep going back to Wonder Man because that's my most recent thing, but I've had to watch Real Rejects and New Rock Stars and Emergency Awesome and Heroes Reforged, all those YouTubers, because I needed to have something to share because my husband hasn't seen it. I mean, you've seen it. But
Yeah, it was me, and I was like, you were so right. It's so good.
But, I watched the Real Rejects reactions. They had 2, 1 through 4, and then 5 through 8. I watched them twice because I liked that. See, it seemed them get as excited as I was every bit as good as watching it again, So.
And that is why, I mean, we're going to do one, but reaction videos and series are so popular because people want to share this experience.
Yes,
People are looking for that opportunity. And I think it is all of us wanting to get our cereal, sit on our stomachs on the floor, and watch cartoons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, human connection.
Oh,
Any
yeah, no,
kind of
people
human
count
connection
too.
in this world. In this world where half of our life is spent staring at our phones, the actual human connection of a shared experience is amazing.
Yeah, I really hate if that went away. That everything went, because now Warner Brothers is going to be owned by a streaming platform.
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't. I don't love the idea of conglomerates owning all the content.
Yeah.
Not just as a creator, but also like as an artist. Like, you need diversified voices, and they're trying.
Yeah.
They really are. They're doing a pretty good job of it. But the truth is, you can throw enough money at it to get the best experience. And sometimes the best part about Saturday morning cartoons, bad movies, is the part that it wasn't amazing.
Yeah.
Right? It was that transformation scene that I could be like, and now he will raise his sword, and now lightning. There was that kind of expectation. And then that part where you're like, oh, I can go get a glass of water right now. I know how this is gonna happen. And also that experience of being like, anxious and or scared or excited about something, and sharing that next to someone is very different from, oh, I love it. So I watched some weird movie on Prime. It was so weird, and I said to my husband, I need you to watch this. I need you to watch this because I have to talk with someone about this movie.
That's why I watch those YouTube channels.
I need to process this, and you are going to. My therapist doesn't want to hear it. It's you, okay? So that experience of sharing art, and cartoons are art, and children's cartoons are art, and learning is art. That, I think, is the piece that I miss the most.
Well, and also, if you were watching something week to week, and it used to be you had 20 or 22 episodes per season of something that was half an hour long, sometimes an hour long, then you had something that everybody was talking about at work for the next
talking
week.
about water cooler moments.
Yes. And I think that's the only reason I'm not thrilled that they dropped all the episodes of Wonder Man. I keep going back to Wonder Man because, again, it was my most recent thing.
Guess what we'll be reacting to.
But, that they drop all the episodes on one day, and then people watch them, and then they're talking about it just for a few days. Now, if they had dropped them like 2, or 4 and 4 even, a couple weeks apart. But then one of the guys was saying that, you've got the Super Bowl this coming weekend. And then, you can tell when we're taping this.
We already mentioned that the Muppets came out. Today.
So and then the following weekend the Winter Olympics start. So there was a fear that would be lost in the jumble of all of those things when they were releasing it. But it's
certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's
so good.
It is so good. And I've watched it 5 times. And I've loved it every bit as much every time. And I get just as anxious and upset watching episode 1 when he's overdoing everything.
Okay, so Liz does auditions with people. Liz is a stage manager. She has much more of an experience with this than I do. I'm watching it and I'm like, Liz has to watch this because Liz will tell us if this is how it happens. Because I need something.
Oh no, she'll tell us that exactly how it happened.
Yes.
I work with a lot of voiceover artists.
If you like puns, you should read Pearls Before Swine by Stephen Pastis.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go with comic strips.
Yeah. Well, that's what it gave her a cartoon.
I know a lot of voiceover actors because I work with a lot of people who work at Crunchyroll. So if you're anime fans,
I have to get it filmed, and we'll, framed, not filmed, and we'll put it up here. But I was privileged enough to meet Spike Brand, who was an animator and a producer for Animaniacs, and he drew me a cartoon of Slappy Squirrel.
Slappy and Skippy.
Slappy and Skippy.
That's fantastic.
Included my name in the cartoon bubble.
We need to we need to put it like have it properly done with museum glass. And,
we didn't even really deep dive into Pinky and the Brain, and I could have spent an entire hour on Pinky and the Brain.
All of it. I mean, you could start with the Bob Brain. You could start with honestly, you want to talk about fantasy, the fantasy episode, like the magic episode, where they're they're doing magic and stuff, and they're going through where there's like dragons and things. What a lovely piece of fantasy.
I also love the one where you actually get to hear the inside of Pinky's brain and how he gets to how the non sequitur.
How it's perfectly logical.
Isn't really a non sequitur at all.
It was that episode that I was like, "Oh, I'm Pinky. Okay, I get it now."
So brain, but where are we gonna find rubber pants our size?
Well, I'm good. I think it was a great episode. This is fabulous. Oh, I have a knee covering worth of an Afghan. My knee can be very warm. There it is.
I just think it was funny that we picked very similar.
I will say,
and this is my son picked this for me.
Oh, and then I wanted to show you. So I have this. This is a pillow based on a quilt that my mother made me. That I'm making this to match it, so it goes on my bed set. That's what this is. Yeah. But
I like all the water prints for you.
Yes, it's got little fishes in it. It's very cute fabric. Yeah. Oh, this one doesn't have any fish. I'll show you the fish. It was a 3-year project choosing it, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, I have a queen size bed. You can just make me. You can just make me a throne. Made me a king. Goes all the way to the floor. It's so huge. She had to quilt it in pieces. My mother does the most, and I'm blessed by it. But I got it up to a knee covering today. How much did you get done?
I got one repeat of the. I got 8 rows done.
Fantastic.
I got exactly 8 rows done as well.
Yeah,
nice.
I got through a full repeat and two more rows.
I got through one full repeat. It's 8 row repeat.
Okay, so what is your progress keeper?
Oh, I got it. It was a freebie from a yarn crawl, and so it's a little teacup with a yarn ball on top.
Oh, that's so cute.
But yeah, it was given out. The name of the shop isn't on it for some reason. But yeah, it was a freebie during a yarn crawl.
It's fantastic. All right, well, we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Like, subscribe down below. Leave a comment. Tell us what your favorite cartoon is, even if it wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. And cartoons that you wish they'd bring back. Okay, bye.
Bye.
What are we going to do tomorrow night, Brain?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.